update on the coding of the hackable Olympia InfoGlobes. I just received new code. If you seen my previous video, I put some code in here and it was working, but kind of messed up and not really usable other than demonstration purposes. So new code has come down the pipeline that is upgradable and hackable, and you can put input into it. And the most important thing is it's customizable to sync the IR lead with the rotating arm, because that was one issue with the previous code, is you were kind of stuck with whatever you had. So you either had a 50-50 chance. It either worked or it didn't. So in my case, it worked, but it was a little it was a little intermittent. So now that I got new code in here, we're going to plug this in. And one nice thing about the code there is that you can set up a default message. So once this thing comes up to speed, we can see it says rolling TARDIS, which is me, this channel, this silly channel. So what's nice about this is, like I said, the most important part of the code is that it's customizable to sync the communication with the rotating arm. So for me, and this is David B's InfoGlobe, it pretty much worked right off the bat with the code speed and all that other good stuff. So, and I have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about code, because I don't have any idea. It's black magic to me. So I waddle through it. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with it. So new code come down. I've tried it on David's ball. I tried it on my ball. Mine was completely screwed, where I couldn't even get it to display as steady as David's. But in the end, I ended up taking the rotating arm off and having to adjust the IR sensor that picked up the signal from the infrared LED. Because on that particular globe, for whatever reason, it must have been an early generation or whatever, but the LED is literally hot glued to the side of the motor. So for whatever reason, it was built like that. It came to me when I bought it, it was like that, and that's just the way it is. Where this one, it's actually in a bracket, and you've seen that in my previous videos when I hacked into this thing, that it's in a nice little bracket. So the IR is perfectly straight going up, and then they probably figured it out, in the factory, to say, oh, we screwed up. There was a lot of playing around and stuff like that with the alignment and stuff like that. So that was a very important thing with mine, is that the alignment had to be perfect. So basically all I did is I tweaked the IR to like a 45 degree angle. So if there's like a little wall in there, so the IR is pointed out like this. And then on the rotating arm, this one, it's pretty much where it's soldered to the board. You can bend it down so it goes, it's pretty much traveling parallel with the direction of travel or rotation. In this case, for mine, it's the opposite. So it's out 180 degrees. So I had to bend mine down because it was almost flush against the board. So I bent mine down, and it seems to be working now. And on David's here, the original code, when I got it, when I downloaded it, it had a default number of 988. So when I inputted it, it was almost spot on. Every once in a while, it would have a little error where it had hello world. Every once in a while, the D in world would either be missing, or it'd be a capital D, or it'd be blank. It was odd. So I went into the code, and I pretty much changed it to from 988 to 990. So just a little bit of tweak. We're talking about milliseconds here. So very small time gaps to get the correct. And what you're doing is, what we're doing here with the timing is we're calibrating the internal clock on the ESP board here, and through the communications of going through the globe out in the arm, blah, 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 to get a rock steady message to scroll. So if you've been watching this thing, it's been pretty steady. Now you're going to see it like stutter every once in a while, and it's part of the code here that Andy put in here, and it's just to let you, the user, know that it's still working, that the communication between the ESP board and the display board is all happy. That can be taken out. I don't know how to do that, but he's got it pretty well written out here of what things do in code here, but it's not quite at layman's terms, like in my level. Okay, what does this line do, and what does this line represent? What happens if I were to adjust this to that, or this to that, and blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit too, I'm here and they're up here. So, and I have no idea what a lot of this gibberish on here, this black magic here, is on my screen. So the only thing I can do is like plug and play. So like on line 47 here, it says default message, which is this. So I changed that from hello world to my channel's name. And then we get to line 51. It says, this is removal. I just want the message to rewrite and be jumpy so I can see that it's still running. So it says it's removable, but I don't know how much to remove, of how many lines to remove to make it stop jumping. Because it's kind of annoying. If you watch it for a spell, you'll see it jump. And then there's a bunch of stuff here where now we go into the serial monitor of the program here. And now we can write our own messages. So I'll write a message here and send it to the globe. If I can spell. So I can go that. And it should upload. And it's uploading, but it's a little skewed. So right now it says subscribe. And we'll see if it updates here to correct itself. So there's still a little bit of, I don't know what it is, timing or whatever, but we got a erroneous character here after subscribe. And then we can write, let's see, comment. Even with that, it's still a little skewed. It might be a little timing error. So let's see if I can change it a little bit. So 990. Let's try 89. And then we'll upload it and stuff like that. There's a precise way to calibrate the communication with an oscilloscope. I have one here, but I don't know how to flip and use it. So I don't know how Andy did it, what he connected to or how to set up the oscilloscope. I have no idea how he did it to really pinpoint the communication. So that's just one of the things that I just don't know how to do. So now that we're uploaded again and we're displaying the default message, seems to be okay. So now we'll write another little comment. See what it does. It's still a little wonky. So this is just one of the things where this is still in its infancy. There's still things that need to be fixed. And you're going to be saying to yourself, well, what else can it do? Well, that's just one of the beginning things that this thing can do. We get to different things in here that we can change the way the messages come up. You know, like on the main factory default InfoGlobe. You know, if you ever had one when you watch things be replaced with a new message or stuff, sometimes it fades in and out. It might fade to zero, blank, or then come back up, or it might scroll up or scroll down, or it might come down upside down and it kind of bounces and then resume its normal form. So there's some transitions in here, but I have no idea how to what the numbers mean. So it says Andy's got here, and as a note, it says we can pick a transition effect from 0 to 37, so that the new message comes in an interesting way. Long transition effect, random, and then he's got numbers and stuff like that. Or we can pick only scrolling, immediate update. This is less buggy when first figuring out timings, blah, blah, blah. And then the thing occasionally re-loops and stuff like that. And then he's got other stuff in here that I have no idea what the hell it means. And stuff like that. So a few little things to still work out on this thing, and you're going to be saying, well, what else can it do? Well, it has the potential of doing a lot, but you know, I'm not the coder guy, so I'm kind of like at the mercy of other people of, you know, pretty much putting up like a wish list and seeing what can be done. Like for me, I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to have something that, you know, you can display messages on like that, but you know, right now as it stands, this one is superior because it gives you the time, gives you the date, gives you the caller ID, and your own custom messages, you know, but you have to physically use the buttons to scroll through the alphabet, where at least with this one, you can hook it up to a computer and go boom, 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 type it out and it's on it. But that's all it can do, you know, this thing. I mean, for me, if, you know, now that I got one that's customizable, what I would like mine to do is somehow add a real-time clock into it, or use the internal clock and then go through adjustments and stuff like that. It's kind of like what the Nixies do. I mean, out of the box when you build them, they keep okay of a time, but, you know, within about 2 or 3 months, you do notice that it's either a minute fast or a minute slow. Some of the kits you can go inside and tweak the internal clock, how fast it runs, or time correction, or blah, blah, blah. But for me, I'm lazy. I just wanted the Wi-Fi autocorrect time boards, so I just got them. Amazingly, the little Nixie, that keeps pretty damn good time. You know, once you set it up, it doesn't really drift far enough for you to even notice it, even with our silly little time changes and stuff like that. So for me, other wishes that I would like to have is, you know how a lot of people, they got them YouTube stat boards, you know, shows you how many subscribers you got, how many video views you got, how many videos you have uploaded. I'd like to have something like that. And as far as I understand, it's a real bitch to, you know, get the code to work with YouTube servers and shit like that to get the, you know, because they don't update it every minute and stuff like that. So you get kind of like an approximate number and stuff like that. It's kind of like dealing with Social Blade. You know, once you get to a certain point, you no longer get per subscriber base. It's once you get to like from 0 to 1,000, it'll show you each subscriber. Once you go over 1,000, then it's like tens. You know, every 10 subscribers you get an update. You know, but your YouTube thing, it keeps clocking up. And then, you know, once you get over 10,000, then it's every 100 subscribers before you get an update, like on Social Blade and stuff like that. So going back to the Globe, you know, maybe YouTube stats. I like to have a clock in it with a date, you know, make the thing more interesting to, you know, have running instead of just having the scrolling single message. And, you know, since for me, I don't know how to code, there's no way for me to do it without a lot of struggling and swearing and all that other good stuff. So another dragged out affair with an update here. So we got something that's working now. So I would assume in time that David would like to have his Globe back. So once he's done tinkering with his code and then sees it on here working, and then have it a little video. Of course, not all of it is on YouTube because we hang out on the WhatsApp, the Meta app. So there's a lot of communication going on back and forth with that. So that's it for an update on the InfoGlobe here. I don't know if there will be further updates of progress and stuff like that because it took a while for this to come down the pipeline. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.